And we're live. So, somebody is getting a little bit of echo, so I'll figure out who that is and try and turn them down. But yeah, hello and welcome to Burning Wheel, playing the Wyld Hunt game, and we're picking up right where we left off last session, which was in front of a spooky skeleton. So, to kind of reset the scene, you guys had come into this underground temple in the mines, and you had been led underground by a slave who then called forth some strange animated creatures to attack you. You fought through them and made your way back into the main temple, and then followed the same slave who escaped the earlier battle into a chamber filled with a few other slaves who seem to be like hiding down here, escaping the notice of any guards up above and deep elsewhere in the mine, and who have set up a small cult of worship around a tapestried curtain, which unveiled a larger chamber filled with blackish smoke that turned a brick red color as the light shone into it and kind of refracted around the room, revealing a spooky... Sorry, I'm not going to call it a spooky skeleton. Revealing a monstrous skeletal creature, roughly humanoid in shape, but clearly bound by some greater magic, since it has its skull and its bones have like deformed over time and are like floating around it somewhat in a hideous way, and blood seems to be like continually dripping from its mouth, and there is the sound of like buzzing, like thousands of insect wings flapping around you that kind of fills the ambient noise of this space, and its hollow dead eyes looks at you and it opens its mouth, and a sort of guttural sound echoes through the room. So you're in a kind of rectangular chamber, and then beyond this veil where the creature stands is a much larger, more cylindrical chamber. Though it's hard, you like this blackish smoke kind of fills that room, and you can't really see beyond the monster, who you learnt last session is known as Nidurga, the Antlion.
Yeah, I think as we ended last session, like Arkan was stood holding his sword and shield, ready to fight. And as this creature appeared, he took a step backwards. And I think he takes a second step backwards and slowly pushes his sword into its sheath, like a person who's like trying not to attract the attention of a predatory animal. And he slowly like hooks his shield up onto his back and hooks his bow down, and like reaching for an arrow, like trying to not move his hand too quickly. I think he's not moving his head at all, but he's like stepping backwards slowly still. And I think this thing is probably stepping forwards at the same time.
I think it has taken a step towards you. It's leering at you currently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Arkan's cast mark begins to Actually, do Dragonbloods even have those?
Yeah, Dragon Bloods have aspect markings, which are kind
Okay.
of like full body, like your skin turns to bark, or like
Oh yeah.
the
Okay.
smell of like flowers fills the air, or like the temperature drops, or things
Yeah.
start catching on fire.
No, I think yeah,
Like,
around him, like through cracks in the floor, like thin, long grass starts pushing up, like up to his knees and then up to his waist even. And as he steps back from it, it withers and dies and disappears just as quickly. Um, and I think the bow that he's using seems to like almost ripple in his hands. And yeah, as he lifts it to try and fire it, it looks like it's bending with him and like he's not having to put any effort into drawing it, that it's almost drawing itself as much.
More an extension of the body than a weapon.
Um, yeah. So he draws this bow and calls upon all of the strength of his god. And this is the thing we've discussed previously. Last session, I was intending to use the miracle ability to grant my sword the ability to harm ghosts, but we discovered between sessions that since I am not a what is it, like
Fire.
earth
Fire.
yeah, I can't do that with melee weapons, and it would be obstacle 8 or 10 if I tried to do that.
Yeah.
So I
Very
have to use a
high.
bow instead. So yeah, like I'm using the only chance I have, and I'm putting everything into this attempt to do a miracle.
Yeah, sure. So I think whilst you're doing that, it continues to leer at you, and is like this like thick, almost sticky looking red blood that is like pouring from its mouth. Begins, maybe you don't notice it, Arkan, because you're concentrating on your own charm, but it like the rest of you perhaps notice that the liquid, as it's like colliding with the floor, is bursting into these like puffs of black smoke, similar to what's already filling the room. And the like, what would it be? The yeah, I think it's like an unnatural darkness that kind of begins to spill out from where this blood is pooling. And you probably notice the candles behind you begin to kind of not so much as like flicker and go out, but like literally begin to give off less light. So this is an essence miracle that Nidurga is going to use, called Clinging Shadow Miasma.
Well, I guess I can name mine as well.
You can name yours as well, yeah. And it's going to call on its cult to help it cast this, or use this power. And it failed.
I
Well,
think
that's
I'm
a
just
good
gonna,
start for us.
I'm going to call it Fresh Wind on the Plains. And I'm rolling essence. I can't take any other dice. except 2 dice from Persona.
Nice.
And here we go. Oh, hang on, no, I did it wrong. Let's start again. Base ob 5. Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Oh shit! It actually happened.
Take that. Oh, it's not. You haven't checked the box for essence. You can roll at 6.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna roll the 6 as well.
Yeah, and take that challenging essence test.
That is very nice indeed.
Well.
Okay. So yeah, your bow is now capable of killing ghosts.
Whatever this fucker's name is gonna get fucked up.
Yeah. So I don't, unfortunately, have time to use an essence channeling on my bow as well.
Well, that was it, wasn't it?
No. To open end it. Right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I guess let's go to the fight.
so yeah, I think yeah. So how are we going to do this? Like, script the first action as being firing the bow, and then, like, or am I having to double script for the full, like, the real way that it works?
We'll say that, like, as part of that action to like do that enchantment or whatever, that your bow is knocked but not drawn.
Okay.
So you'll still have to spend like 2 actions to draw it, if that makes sense. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. So I've got to. So my first 2 actions, which is basically my first.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be the first. You could avoid first, or you could do something like it's knocked, and it can be knocked until you want to draw it, right?
Okay.
Yeah. That I guess gives you some more options.
Oh, so I have to spend another 2 actions to draw, and then fire.
Yeah, so it's 5 actions to knock and draw, or you can split it into 3 actions to knock and 2 actions
so
to
I've
draw.
So I've got another 2 just 2 actions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And splitting these up means that, like, I can still do them, I guess.
What do you mean?
Like, if I do one, actually no, I'll do it this way. Yeah,
the draw action, they have to be consecutive, but they can be between volleys.
we need to position first.
This is true. Yeah, so let's do that. So, what's your... Who has the highest stride? No, you have the same stride. Okay.
Yep.
It has a... I think, like, you see it now, probably in the same process of, like, trying to fill the room with unnatural darkness. It, like... doesn't even like draw it from a sheath or anything, just like unveils, like as though it was there the whole time and you've only just noticed it, this huge like 2-handed curved sword.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take... I take 2 dice from weapon length, and that's it, right? Yes. Because I've got missile, which is 2 more than a sword.
I hate that they put the 2 tables on different pages. Yeah, you've got missile. He's got effectively a pole because it's two-handed. So.
But it's still 2
more. Yeah, you still get 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. I don't have any Arthur left. Base ob, it's 1. I'm going to spend fate. No.
All right. Ties means. Oh god, I hate ties.
Longest weapon.
Is it?
Yep, just below the longest weapon. Yeah, if your test is engaged, tie goes to the opponent with the longest weapon.
Okay.
Which would
Okay.
Now we script.
All right. Now we script.
Now, hopefully, it should not be too slow.
So your advantage is. Or, sorry, he's at +2 ob to everything right now.
Yeah.
And if he takes the ob, you'll be at +1 ob. Also remember, it's a separate action to release the bow after you've drawn it.
I thought it's just 2 actions to.
It's two actions to draw and then a third action to release.
This is ridiculous.
But you can have it drawn and then do some other stuff and then release, right?
Okay. I thought I'd drawn the bow as part of the thing I did before.
No, you've knocked it. Then you need to draw it. Then you need to release.
I mean, I thought I described myself drawing the bow. That's all, right? And you didn't say, no, you can't do that.
Sorry, that's what I meant, is you've got it knocked. And you still need to draw it.
But, yeah.
That's what I said at the beginning.
I mean, I'm mostly like feeling that like 3 actions is not cool, and 2 actions is like fair enough, right? Because
okay, we'll call it 2 actions then.
Yeah.
So I guess just a knock and draw action whenever you're ready, followed by a release bow whenever you're ready. What is this guy gonna do? And guys, like, feel free to help out.
I'm trying to
As
find
in-
a
as
way to
in-
help out, but
As in give advice or whatever.
why can't I find this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, bless me. What? I cannot find this bloody thing.
Where is it? Where is it?
Well,
I've lost my thing.
don't know if Will's here.
I think Will is busy scripting.
Yeah, I turned screen share off so you guys don't cheat.
I think Scott was just trying to ask you a question.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, because there's something I want to do with folklore. I've been trying to basically fucking find where the obstacles are for folklore, but all
There
it
is-
says
sorry.
is in the magic burner.
Yeah, they're in the codex.
I don't have the codex.
Yeah. So basically the way it works is it starts at 7, and then you subtract based on like how much shit the culture goes through to like deal with its bad juju.
So, for example, if the Christmas ritual, like if what we do at Christmas was to ward off the Christmas demon, then it would be an odd one test because we do loads and loads of shit at Christmas that like no one understands, and like there's like all sorts of things you have to do, I think another example is like the Passover that in Jewish tradition, like that has a lot of stuff that is like prime ritual that just isn't understood but reduces. Anyway,
Yeah, so like I know what the culture is in this place that you're in.
yeah,
So folklore basically establishes like whether you know that, and then just knowing it doesn't necessarily help you, but it can help you. So it begins at 7.
you can kind of. I feel like you can use it in two ways. You can like either say, okay, I want to see how difficult this is to do, or you can say like I'm gonna do a thing that requires all of these. Like I'm gonna
Yeah,
consult
that's how. Yeah, that's why it's kind of like a wise in that way, because you can establish it, but only if like it doesn't already conflict with stuff that's been
Stuff that
established.
exists.
Yeah. I think in terms of like how people in this part of the world deal with ghosts, we're probably looking at Ob 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm slightly reluctant to like delve into this right now.
That's fine. That's fine. I was just wondering for now.
Yeah. Because I suppose failure, like success, would be I tell you what these rituals are, or whatever. Failure, I guess, could be that I tell you the wrong thing, but then we all know that that's the wrong thing as players, and then you might be like putting effort into doing a thing that is completely futile.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily want to do that. I'll keep that in mind, though, if that's the thing you want to be doing in the background.
Yeah.
What about Eel? What are you doing sort of in the background?
Well, I think Eel is probably in the process of meditating in case something goes wrong that she's ready to interrupt.
Oh. All right. So I guess we'll roll for that if and when it becomes necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what happens then. So, Ollie, let's flip.
Okay, I did not script correctly. Yeah, I think Arkan starts by like backing off even further. He like dodges to one side, and the grass where he was standing blows away in the wind, and new grass like crops up around where he's standing in like a billow, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So he's changing to aggressive stance, and I think he like as you're backing away now, kind of stands to his full height, and you see that like horns included, he's probably about 8 feet tall. And like because his like skeletal body is kind of floaty as well, the way that he stands kind of he stretches out a bit as well, and like he raises his sword above his head, and then does like brings it down again with like holding the end of the blade in one hand, like in the other hand.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
And then like does a kind of ceremonial kind of like war, like dueling bow. Like you've like had punch-ups and shit. Like there's this bow that your people do before like going into a duel, and he seems to be respecting that ancient tradition now. And then he bellows at you, and it is this like terrifying shout that like fills your soul with like, well, potentially fills your soul with fear. So he's going to make an intimidation test.
Arcane's attack fell sharply.
It's tragic.
He should probably have this, so I'll add it.
I'm surprised Scott didn't appreciate that.
So, what's your will?
Not good. 3.
3. Okay. Oof. Okay. Make a steel test. With +1 ob.
Oh wait, no, I'm super dead. Yeah, I'm dead.
Are you?
Yeah, you've killed me. Why did you do this? Why did you like try and like be a... Oh my god! Why do you insist on playing the game like well when you're playing as an NPC? Like that was the best, most effective thing that you could possibly have done.
Really?
Oh my god! Yes, like I've got a 3 in will. That's a really clever thing to do.
I
'Cause
forgot.
I'm now rolling against a base of 8. So that's a thing. I'm super dead.
No different from usual, I guess.
Okay. Well, okay, so remember, command can be used to get somebody to stop hesitating.
Do any of us
That might be something I can do.
what?
I have no command.
Owl,
Can't help
have
you
command?
there. Can't.
Why
help
do I have no command? This is
Still,
I have
foolish.
calligraphy.
I should have held out on the whole.
I also have
want this to
calligraphy.
be.
No, I don't. No, I have
fine.
composition. Sorry.
So you have composition.
I'll write him a letter.
Okay.
This is already going swimmingly. Well, I
This
guess
is-
Arkane's
yep.
dead.
No,
Okay, how would you?
I guess the sensible thing to do is just not shoot him, right? Because like I'm just gonna skip the action I was going to shoot him, right? But instead I'm just gonna run screaming. Oh no, I have to drop my bow to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you
this
have
is
to
not
drop
fun.
everything if you.
Man,
I'm sorry, man. I forgot
is
that your
the
will was
least-
so low.
you wanna cut people in half. That's the thing you want to do to people, right? As a monster, you're playing this
Yeah.
game wrong. Like I don't know why you do that.
So Ollie, what is it like being in my shoes?
Sorry, I didn't. What did you say?
No, I mean
He said, "How does it feel to be in my shoes?"
Oh right, yeah.
the shoes of every fight you get into always ends poorly.
I mean,
Okay, well,
I
so
maintain like that. It's an okay thing for a ghost to do, right? But like, holy shit, that's like, wow. You are just savage. You have no conception of playing the game to like a predictable level.
you're literally fighting a lich. I don't know
No,
what
I
else
mean,
to tell
like-
you.
Yeah, like isn't what? It's fine.
Um,
Again, you just targeted the thing that this character is weakest at. Like, if I'd got cut, I'd have been like, sure, I can deal with that a bit.
Okay, well, so let's I like because Owl and Eel are just observing right now. You guys can cut in basically at any time. So you can try and get him to snap out of this, or you can like jump in and take his place if you want.
Oh yes, that'll go swimmingly
yes.
for me.
Because spoiler alert, his next attack is a great strike.
Well, I mean, we might as well just bury Arkin right here. Might as
I mean,
well bury it.
my thing is I'm meditating until something goes wrong.
Yeah, you did say that.
So I presume this action is something going wrong.
This is something going wrong, yeah.
Okay, so I guess this happens and then I'm jumping in.
Well, you see him hesitating because Great Strike has a one heartbeat of wind up. So you see him just like either are you standing and drooling or are you actually running screaming?
No, I pre-scripted this, right?
Oh,
So
right.
I'm standing and like I have a choice between standing and drooling permanently, right? Or running and screaming immediately.
Or you could stand and drool, take the
No.
test steal again, and then run.
No. Because I still like I don't reset out of the 8 hesitations if I take the hit and succeed on a steal test. No. You don't.
You don't. Yeah.
You don't. So I'm. It's basically like I have to run screaming now, which is a real pain because it means that I have to. I don't even know when I get to turn around and come back.
It basically means you leave the room. It means the ob to hit you is harder.
I mean, no, I know that, but like I don't care about that because what I want to do next is I want as soon as I can run back into the room and try and get my bow and shoot
so
this guy.
it lasts for 8 actions, so that would be like halfway through the next exchange.
Sure.
So it's sounding like Eel's gonna jump in and take your place in this fight.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I mean if I run screaming, I'm gone, right? Because I'd be running for like 8 actions, so it would take me another 8 actions to get back.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You could run for 4 actions, and there's been 4 actions running back.
No, I have no. I don't get a choice.
Or you could. Here's the thing: you could fall prone and beg for mercy. This guy is a great ancestor.
That's a good point.
I think Owl would shoot you.
No, I'm gonna do. That's hilarious.
Okay, so rewind.
Yeah. So like, there's this moment where
So he's got this blade lifted up, and you're
Lifted
like
up.
shaking in your boots.
and Arkan has never wanted to fight a ghost in his life. Yeah, he drops the floor and yeah, he starts like shouting in his Shalvi. He's like, forgive me, I don't know what I'm doing. I should never have come here. I should never have listened to these realm-born idiots. Spare me, please, spare me.
Yeah, and I think the ghost so. You I guess Eel. We see this from Eel's perspective. Like you see Arkan like he's got his bow ready. He's like in combat mode, and then he's like stops, falls to his knees, and just looks up at the skeleton before him. And for a second, I think you think that the skeleton's just gonna like drop his sword down and like execute him, but he starts crying out in a language you
I can't understand. Yeah.
Do I understand?
Yeah, Owl
understands, but I don't understand.
Got like
And
both
then-
of his hands like open in front of like the bow's like on the floor in front of him. He's got both his hands open and he's like you could see his tears like falling off his face onto the floor.
Yeah, and Nidurga leans forwards, stopping for a moment, and kind of looks at you with its cold, ruddy eyes.
Me or him?
No, Nidurga is
No.
looking at. Oh, he's looking at Arkan
Right.
and says, in a very ancient dialect of your native language that you can probably only just sort of pick up bits and pieces of. kind of like listening to Old English or whatever.
Yeah.
Says, child, why do you follow them?
Any chance that I can understand this, seeing as I have a skill in ancient languages?
Yeah, you can test your ancient languages actually to see if you're following any of this.
I'm gonna.
And do you wanna meditate to before that, or is the meditation for a combat thing?
The meditation is totally for a combat thing.
Okay.
Could I aid Eel
Yeah, I think
with ancient languages?
you can help. Yeah.
Sure. He's not an elemental, right?
No, he's not
No,
an elemental.
No, he's a ghost. Yeah,
explicitly a ghost.
Yeah.
I
I don't know why I asked that, because the moment I asked that, I was like, oh wait, yeah. Base up.
Let's see. Languages.
Do you want me to get it? 'Cause I've got the-
Ancient Ishalvi is probably not related to Old Realm in the slightest.
No,
So we'll say Ob 4.
ooh, I don't have a very high chance of succeeding this, but I did.
Nice! Okay.
Why do you know the ancient version of this language?
But not the
This is
current
bizarre.
one. Yeah.
You spent the entire last 2 sessions. It sounds strangely familiar, but like I don't know which.
It's because while it's been off camera, I was been teaching Eel.
Oh my
Mark, difficult test. Yeah. So you hear, you hear him, I guess, more explicitly. And I guess we'll switch to Eel's ears for the rest of the scene now. You hear him say, "Child, thou art bound to these blasphemous ways."
That's okay. I was going to say something, but I realized I have no context for that statement.
Yeah, Arcan is blubbering and saying like, no, you're wrong. Arlat is. I'm bound only to him. I don't know anything about you. Nothing.
Know that I am a warrior of noble birth and great pride and prowess.
What a coincidence! So am I. I'm gonna ready my weapon.
I don't think he's paying attention to you just yet, Eel, and he follows up quickly and says to Arkan, says, "You, like I in life, are blessed by the dragons."
Okay.
And then says, "Take my hand, child, and we can retake the summer paths. You shall be the new king of this land, and I shall watch over you." And then he says, "Redeem thyself and free your ancestors."
Was this why I was given this gift? Was this why I was taken from my home and made to watch my friends suffer in the boat next to me?
He laughs.
So that I could come here?
he kind of cackles a deep and evil skeletal cackle. Of course it is. You are far too powerful for them. So, Eel, I'll let you jump in here for a second, but Ollie, do you want to give him a chance to like lie to you and like turn your attention, if only for a moment?
Turn my attention how?
As in, like, he's lying to you, but
Well,
I'm interested
No, I mean-
in knowing whether
No, I think
you
like
believe
I
him.
think the way that yeah, what was it he said?
He's basically saying like
Yes,
you
of course it was.
your power is like you were predestined to come here
But-
and serve me. Like that's what he's saying.
Oh yeah.
Like you are one of my descendants. I used to rule this land, and if you help me, you can rule as well. He's like, yeah, he's. Do you feel like there's
It is-
an opportunity for him to
No,
not necessarily persuade you completely,
I
but
feel
like
I you're wrong. I've left this place and moved on. The endless wars and struggles between the tribes are what brought me here. I was enslaved because a man wanted to be king. It cannot be the same way. It cannot be that I was born to make this a circle and keep casting down and
I think as
I
you're
cannot-
saying that, he's like standing back up again.
I beg,
Yeah.
mercy, please. I can't be a king.
I think, like, as this is happening, because Eel understands none of it. Eel is sort of like finishing the last things of her meditation. Stands up, levels the dial lance at this ghost, and sort of says, "It is a thing of wonder when two blessed by the dragons meet on the battlefield. But I feel that only one of us here truly represents what it is that the dragons strive for, and I intend to prove that."
So you're like getting its attention.
Yes, it's like come at me, bro.
Yeah.
And then, sort of as a side note, Eel says, like without even breaking the look on it, Arkan, either get out or stay down.
I think it turns its attention to you and says, like kind of barks, says, "Insolent cur, you will all suffer." And then
No
like
response.
leaps towards you, blade a swinging. So I guess our first fight just voids, and we'll re-roll positioning.
Yeah, I think Arkan is like crying and then is yeah, pretty much.
All right. So you both have pole weapons, so we don't roll for positioning.
Right. Because none of us can get an advantage.
Yeah. So I guess we just go straight to scripting.
The thing is, do I need to roll meditation because I wanted to?
Yeah. So that's a link test, isn't it, for your first
Yes.
action? Yeah. So roll that now. We'll say that you've had like a a decent amount of time, so probably just ob 3 or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to put anything into this. Can't link anything, so nope. I was not ready. Didn't have enough time.
Okay. Yeah, so you're actually at +1 ob to your first action then.
Okay.
Use a bit of fate to open end at 6.
Oh, I could. Yeah, that's a point. Yeah, I got fate.
Doing it.
I got fate. No.
No. Oh well.
So it's 1 fate into med. So I've never done fight before, boys. Let's do this.
Oh, it's Rob's first fight! Yay!
Oh yeah, shit.
I could use some advice.
Well, so to start with, we
Script
already
lock.
know that he likes going into aggressive stance, right? Oh no, is he still in the aggressive? Is he still?
I
believe
guess he's still in aggressive
aggressive
stance because he
stance.
hasn't charged or anything.
So that means that you're going to have a tough time because you're engaging at the same distance as him. So you don't have any bonus to him attacking you like you normally would because you've got a long weapon, but he's got a really long weapon as well.
Yeah.
So,
We're fighting on equal ground, but he already has the stance advantage.
yeah. What's your reflexes?
My reflexes is 4.
You maybe want to go into defensive then, and then just like do some blocks. I mean, you could, right?
Defense and throw some blocks.
Yeah, in defensive stance, you get bonus dice to counter strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
counter-strike and blocks.
that sounds like an eel thing.
Yeah. How much? Yeah. The other thing you could do is just really go ham and try and get more strikes out more quickly than him, because you probably have a better weapon skill. So if you just script strike, then someone will definitely be dead.
Yeah.
Well, you only script as many.
You can only script as many
strikes as your weapon's
speed. Yeah. So you shouldn't do that.
Speed? That is the question.
If your weapon speed's 4, then you can do that basically.
Going defensive and then scripting counter strikes is probably the safest thing, especially since you can just turn on your anima flare, and then at the end of this round he'll take a hit of some sort.
Yeah, that's a point. Yeah, I think that's the smart thing to do. So
we really should have waited until well scripted until after this, so that
I trust him not to cheat. Will.
No, I trust him not to cheat. It's just that he's going to do something even worse than cheating would have been.
Look, cheating is all right.
Yeah, he's just gonna charge you and use hands to negate the advantage that your Dialance gives you.
Just script lock repeatedly.
Everyone's so salty.
How long does it take to change stance?
It's one action.
One action.
And defensive stance also counts as a block.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you script it.
Okay.
In the same way that changing to aggressive stance counts as the first action of intimidation. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't lose anything. I don't lose anything while I'm changing stance. Then.
Say again, sorry.
No.
There's no downside to changing stance.
There's no downside except that you're in a different stance.
So you get bonuses in aggressive stance. You get bonuses to attack and penalties to defense. In defensive stance, it's the other way around. In neutral stance, it's rules as written.
Okay.
So there's no actual penalty to the action to change stance. Right.
Okay. And what order should I put them in to do them in order? Like first action on the top, second action on the bottom. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna just.
Yeah, I can put numbers on the side if it helps.
Nah, it's good. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, don't forget that you've got wushu as well, which is a martial art. So you can do things like lock and throw person and a few other things that you can't you can use your martial arts skill
You can try and disarm him.
in place
That'll be
of
funny.
power.
If you disarm versus... Oh, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
So everything is like one action, right? Unless it states otherwise.
Yeah, so Great Strike is 2 actions, Intimidation is 2 actions, Physical Action is 2 actions, which is your like catch-all miscellaneous action.
Yeah.
Get Up is 2 actions, which is really dumb, but yeah. What else can you do?
I would, if you're going defensive, I would advise scripting more counter strikes, or defends, right? Like,
Yeah. Oh, is Counter Strike limited in the same way that you said with attack, or I can only do it the number of times I have my as my weapon suite? I can just do it forever.
Counter Strike's really good. The only thing that's bad about it is that if they feint, then it's really bad. But like, this doesn't seem like a fainting kind of guy.
No,
so
not an aggressive stance, that's for sure.
No.
Okay. Wow, I think I'm ready. Either Scott is drawing or he is sniffing.
No, I'm doing laughs, like small laughs. Oh yeah, Scott's also drawing, definitely.
You can barely pick up my drawing anyway.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with your drawing.
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I could just hear this shh, 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 in the background.
No, that's just me cackling. That's a noise I make when I cackle.
Oh, I'm cackling.
Okay. I've just realized, like, I've lost track of what I scripted where.
No,
but
that's fine. It doesn't matter.
I can't be bothered like taking them all and then relaying them out again.
It's
so
fine.
let's just go. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay, whatever happens, happens. Boom.
Oh, okay. Sure. So you're scripting the opposite way up to each other, right? Or is it?
No, it's 1-2.
1-2, 1-2.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So you broke first. There we are.
All right. So strike versus disarm.
That is versus skill. So
but you also add your skill to.
No, it's not.
Oh, hang on. What is it?
It's not plus. It's just versus skill. So in order to disarm him successfully, you've got to beat his versus test by his skill, right?
It's plus the skill exponent as an obstacle penalty. Right, disarm is the like really hard one to do. So
it's not for
that you are saying lots of words. Which of the dice button do I press?
In order to disarm someone in a versus test, you press the normal dice button.
I press the normal dice button.
You do dice button versus ob 1, right? Because your strike is going to happen like no matter what.
Yeah. So your ob is 1. His ob is your skill exponent.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, except I'm at ob 2 because I fudged up my meditation.
Oh yeah. So what's your skill exponent?
My skill exponent for my wushu is 7.
Yes.
Okay.
with a +1 from spear.
He is
Right,
probably not going to disarm you.
Okay. So I roll first, yeah?
Well, it's simultaneous, so...
Oh, well, I thought you wanted my thing to know what to beat.
No, he's rolling against the flat.
Oh, he's rolling against
yeah.
the flat. Okay.
His
I
ob
was
is
mistaken.
your flat exponent. So, yeah, he does not disarm
At least he gets a
I
chance
stab
to
him
make swords.
in the face.
Reroll a dice with fate. You want more successes.
successes does more
Yes, I
damage.
do.
Successes.
Fate. No.
All right. Okay,
Fine.
so you're
tried.
one success above the ob. He
I have spent 3 fate into Usha.
he doesn't have any armor really in any location. So where you hit him doesn't matter.
Okay.
So
Stab.
you stab him, but your add is 2, right?
My add is
It's
2.
probably 2 on your weapon.
That's how much it costs in.
That's
It is
how
2.
many. Yeah, so
2.
that's how much. That's how many successes, marginal successes, it costs.
It costs to upgrade
to
it.
move the damage up from an incidental to a mark. So
Yeah,
what's your
it's
incidental?
5.
Your incidental's a B5.
My incidental
is
is a B5.
okay. What's this guy's 3? Shit, I didn't do his health. Give me a sec.
Oh wait, yeah, I keep forgetting actually. By the way, my wushu is always open ended, so
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yes.
I'm doing the different kind of reroll. when I
Yes,
do
you're
fate.
doing a reroll.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
I don't think you forked anything, did you?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Spirit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. Yeah. So he takes a superficial wound.
I just rolled really bad.
Okay.
I'm looking at
That's
that.
also horrific.
Sen.
All right. Then you're changing stance to defensive stance.
Two
right?
defensive stance.
Okay, so that counts as a block against strike, which means you roll your weapon skill again, and that sets the ob.
Okie dokie. But let me click, you bastard. Against ob 0. 6 successes.
Oh my god!
Jesus!
Stab block.
I don't
This
think
is
we
my
need to
first
worry.
rodeo with an anathema.
Yeah, jeez. Okay, yeah.
Pretty good, yeah.
At least he's getting challenging sword tests.
He's already full up on challengings.
Ah, well.
Okay. Next thing.
Flip. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ooh! Ooh! 6 scripting right there.
I like how we're like excited wars.
All right.
So block versus
block
push. How does this
versus
work?
Push. Let's see. Push. So versus skill test. Yeah, it's the same as before. You just reduce my successes. So I guess what does this look like? Let's quickly describe the previous round.
Oh,
So you're like you go in for a strike and hit him whilst he tries to disarm you, fails.
yeah. I imagine sort of like the stance that Eel takes is sort of like it's a fairly like posture neutral like martial arts stance, just holding the diet lance. And he comes forward and tries to like knock the spear with the sword, but the stance that Eel's like in allows her to sort of like jab inwards with the thing and get like a good solid strike as he's like bringing the sword down to try and knock, and then rather than trying to contest the disarming attack, Eel just sort of like lets him hit the spear, which forces her to step backwards, which immediately puts her in the defensive stance, and then she just blocks as the second strike comes in.
Yeah, and then so you keep blocking, and then he goes in for like a shove, where he like takes one hand off his weapon and tries to just like he like throws his skeletal hand towards your face.
Yeah.
And I think you probably recognize like there is some martial technique to this.
Yes.
Like he's not just shoving you with raw power. Like you can tell that he had some kind of martial
he
arts
aims
training.
for like my shoulder to try and like, knock me
yeah.
down.
So your successes here will reduce his.
And he's at +2 ob.
No, you get
He's at +2 ob because he's at hands weapon length for the push.
Oh, thank you. Good point.
And I'm in defense, so what
You're in
bonus do I
defense,
get?
you get +2 to your block.
Okay.
Blah 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 blah. Where's his?
10.
Oh my god! Okay.
You're really good at wushu.
Yes, I am.
What the fuck?
That meant nothing as well, because
I also
I mean,
because
let's
it's
just see him
naturally
roll,
open
right?
ending. So
Well,
just
no,
six,
hang on.
six,
Marginal
six, six, six,
marginal
six, six, six.
success on a block can stun him.
can it?
Yes.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, we don't need to like. This is just a spectator.
Two extra successes +1 ob to the next action, and you can spend
on
those
3
Oh my
extra
God.
successes. You can
3.
you spend them. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so good.
roll. Roll for you.
Well, he's going to roll against me first. So.
Yeah. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, so you're at 6 marginal successes.
Okay.
How would you like to spend them?
Well, what can I spend them on? Did you say again?
You can make his next action more difficult, or you can take one dice to your next action.
So you can do all
as
3,
well.
I think,
Um,
because it's spending successes. Not...
yeah, I think you can do all 3, but the second one doesn't do anything because he misses his action anyway, right?
No.
Like, I don't think it carries forward.
Strike versus
No, but if he misses his next action, then he won't get +1
yeah,
to it.
yeah. So you spend 3 successes, force him to lose his next action, which you actually don't want.
No, because I
Yeah,
want
you
him
don't
to hit me.
Because if you counter strike against nothing, then you get to do nothing.
I think you can
unless
spend.
you don't want him to strike you.
No,
But-
you can spend it. You can give him +2 of the next action with 4 successes, and then take +2 dice as well, because that gives you that's 6 in total, right? I don't think you have to only do these once. Actually, no, it does make sense. Otherwise, it would be.
You can spend your
ridiculous.
marginal success
Yeah.
as follows. Yeah, I think you can take +1 die to your next action, give him +1 ob to his next action, or basically make him stand and drool.
But
Okay.
you also do nothing.
Yeah, but
Strike.
I think the +1 ob and the +1 die will carry forwards to the next action.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense to give him the ob penalty because I want him to fail so that my counter strike goes through.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, I'll give him the penalty.
Okay, and then I guess just 3 marginal successes go to the ether. All right, cool. Yes, he goes in to push you, and you just repel him, and then he like tries to swing up like an uppercut strike, and yeah. So you split your pool.
Oh right, okay. It's a split.
So it's a pool plus you get +3 because you're in defensive stance, and the +1 carried forwards.
Oh, and the +1 carry forward. Okay, so
Yeah, because that's your next action.
So that would be 4, total of 4 in terms of modifiers. So
Okay, and then you split that up.
I will spend 6 attack, 5 defense.
Okay, so the defense counts as works like a block, except without the marginal success clause. So I guess roll that.
Oh
roll that first.
wait! I declare if I'm using Arthur first, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will spend a persona in my attack as well.
Okay, so roll your defense first. So that's 5 defense.
No Arthur in that one. Defense pool is wow.
Wow.
That
okay.
is
Wow.
not what I need.
What?
And then okay, so he's a
You can re-roll one of those with Fate.
I can, yeah.
reroll one of those.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really-
No, not fate is not with me today.
Okay, so as he gets repelled, like you see him like this shift from like a just a sword technique to like a combined martial arts technique. You see him like change his posture, and he comes in. I've just remembered he's still in aggressive stance, so he should be getting +2 to these strikes. But he's at +1 ob in addition to his wound, so it's actually ob 2 still. Ouch.
Ooh.
Ow. That's gonna hurt.
Okay. But your strike goes through at the same time, so make a strike at ob 1.
So, I think I said 6 and then 1 Arthur, so that's 7.
Yeah, so 7. Yeah.
So that's -1 in that, but +1 in the Arthur. And base of is 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you do a mark to him, and he. Where do you want to get hit? Does it matter?
I don't
Sure.
think it matters. I think I'm 1 armor in every location.
You want to move it to like not your head and your body because.
Well, where is he aiming first?
Well, like no, you get to choose where.
I get to choose.
Yeah.
put it-
You
put it on
choose
next
where you
round.
want to be hit.
Because then you don't get to get hit in the head, right?
Yeah.
Sure, I will choose the left arm.
Okay. Yeah. So he has. Let's see. I input the ob there wrong. So he actually has 4 marginal successes. So yeah, I think what he's going to do, he's going to spend 2 of them to move to your back to your torso, and then do a mark.
Yeah.
And you're doing a mark to him, right?
Yep.
Okay. So roll your. You have natural armor. He doesn't.
Yep.
Roll your torso armor dice. You can spend Arthur on this. Your ob is 2. Because his VA is 1.
Wait.
Did I Fate there? Do you just succeed on your armor roll?
I think that.
No,
that's what I thought.
That's 1/6 so far.
Oh, okay. So.
Oh right.
Your ob is 2, so you need to spend fate.
Sure. Why the fuck not?
I mean, this was like this is a 1 in 12 going to like a 1 in 2 chance to block this. So-
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
I'm out of fate, but YOLO.
Damn.
Everything's a 50.
So what's your mark?
My mark is
9.
B9.
So he takes a light wound, and you take a B9 as well.
Okay.
As he like slashes you across the chest.
That's a severe wound.
Oof. Okay.
Could use some help, guys.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'll try something. If you really want.
Yeah, Al. What are you up to? Like you've watched this all unfold. I'd say you've had time to be winding up a spell if you want.
Get your fucking ghost. You said that I could, if I cast a spell, I can use essence, right?
You can you don't use essence, but you
Right.
can flare your anima instead of taxing.
Oh god, I'll do that. I mean, that means I can at least cast 1 spell and then be like, well, that's how you're getting out of me. I just gotta make sure I don't hurt anyone important.
You're all in fairly close proximity to each other.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, well,
I guess Al, what are you doing?
so I'm so tempted to be winding up White Fire.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I just need to double check White Fire to see if it might have a chance of actually killing everyone in the room at the same time.
It does have a chance of doing that, yeah. But
It's quite a low chance, but it has a like the more people you think it's going to kill, right, the lower chance that it is of it happening. But it's got a reasonable chance of killing at least one other person.
I mean, how angry would Eel's ghost be if I accidentally blasted her like Soman did to that poor guard?
I'm not
I mean,
I'm not going to
Eel's
talk
ghost-
about that.
Eel's ghost wouldn't get like an opinion because we'd have to like purge that ghost as well, right? So
um,
I'm trying to find fucking
but Whitefire is page 222.
right page to
Well,
do.
while you're thinking, let's carry on with the fight.
Yeah.
I am introducing this caveat. If you cast a spell in here and you hit me, you cannot give me shit about friendly firing people ever again.
You know what? Yes, I can because I am nothing but a hypocrite. So let me double check this. So it's like a 1% chance. I could...
Well, he says reflex is 6 for some reason.
Yeah, his reflex is 6.
Oh, well, block versus counter-strike.
That does nothing for either of you.
I imagine it's that
Like, so you just back away. You're like bleeding out of your chest.
yeah, it's that bleach moment where they land after hitting each other and they're just like, and then they're just like the two of them start bleeding profusely.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think like where did you hit him? Like what does your because he doesn't bleed. He's a skeleton.
He
So,
is
like,
bleeding.
Yeah, well, he's bleeding out of his mouth, but that's just
He's
like
oozing.
part of who he is.
It's part of who he is, Mom.
So maybe you like cut one of his like you smash him like right in the face, and like one of his like skeletal horns.
Yeah, I think I
falls off
chipped one of his horns off.
No, I think like you did a light wound to him. So yeah, I think like it punctures his like probably part of his head falls off, I guess.
Right, okay.
He doesn't seem to give a shit.
So I
Or
want to do
that much of a shit.
Whitefire, but during this entire encounter, I will be like slowly scooching herself away, so that she's not within. Like she's been building up as soon as she's darted to the other bit of the room where she's like a decent amount away from everyone. If she's near the slaves, that doesn't matter because fuck them.
Fuck mortals.
Fuck the mortals. They'll get reincarnated as like a giraffe or something.
Fuck mortals, get money.
So yeah, I will probably be
Fuck
charging up
mortals, get
Whitefire.
Okay. So let's resolve that then. I think whilst these two are just like blocking nothing, you have time to get this off. So a crashing bolt of lightning arcs from the caster's brow.
I don't want to.
What does it look like when you shoot a Whitefire? What does it look like? Right.
Yeah, you can describe it. So we probably need to see if you actually cast it or not first.
Yeah.
So let's do that. So roll an ob for sorcery.
Right, okay. Astrology, forking because sign of the wizard or whatever the fuck.
Look, if you're not going to take astrology seriously, then I'm not going to let you.
I am. I just don't remember the name of it. Sign of the wizard it was. Symbology, making gestures with my hands.
No.
I mean, it's still wizard o'clock, right? So astrology counts.
Yeah.
This wizard o'clock. Do I have any Artha I want to spend? You know, I'm going to spend 1 Artha on this. Because one persona. No more.
You know you can spend up to 3 persona.
Yeah, but I've only got 2. I want to spend 1.
Scott, people are gonna die.
You know what?
Yeah, Scott, you should save 1. Spend 2.
You don't fuck it.
Actually, ignore my advice, right? Every time I give you advice, it's bad advice.
Yeah,
so
don't give me advice. Don't only fish. Don't give me advice. You ruin it. So for fuck it. 2 persona. Why not? Fuck it. The full. Fuck it.
Okay.
Up 4, did you say?
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay, that works.
To open those successes.
It's already open.
It's already open.
Oh, I can reroll one of the failures.
You can reroll a failure with a fate. Yeah.
I'll reroll one of the failures. Where's my sorcery? There it is.
Okay. What's your will?
My will is 4.
You just rolled 9 successes.
Remember, I'm flying my essence.
Yes, you're flaring your essence.
Yep. Flaring my anima.
Sorry, your anima.
So that I don't like that would kill me.
Al just goes Super Saiyan 2 in the corner.
Passes out.
Okay, so damage by power, it's 5 plus your will.
Yep.
So you're at 9.
Yep.
So roll a die of fate to determine how much damage this does. 2, and I'm assuming your target is Nidoga.
Yeah.
Okay. And then your marginal successes can add to that.
Yeah.
You have doubled the odds. You get +2 to that, so you do a mark, which is a B9.
That's good. Yes.
Which is another light wound to Nidoga. So what does this look like?
And then roll a dice.
Roll
of fate
another
again.
die of fate.
Go roll a 1.
I swear to God, Ollie! Shut the fuck up! Shut the actual fuck up!
Oh
Ollie.
my god.
Okay,
So this is cursed, okay? Because I said this to a player in D&D. I said, don't
Ollie,
roll a 1
you
on your
know
death
what?
save, and he fucking
That's
did.
it, Ollie. Never speak to me. You don't get to talk to me.
No, I'm not going to talk about dice ever again. You're completely correct.
You're
Like,
fucking
I'll talk
banned
about
from
anything
ever
else I like,
speaking.
but, like, I'm never talking about dice because that's pretty funny.
You literally ruined my rolls.
No, it's fine. You still shoot him, right? You still shot him. It's just that we now have to work
Yes.
out how many people there are in the room and who it's going to shoot next.
Yeah, but I might jump to our friend Eel.
There's only
It
two.
might jump
There's
to
only
you.
2 people in the room who we like.
Use the option.
Yeah,
And I'll say on a 4, you just kill all the slaves.
all of them.
No, can we split the slaves up? I want a higher
Fuck
pool.
mortals.
This is so unfair. There's loads of
Yeah,
slaves around.
There's loads of
Okay,
slaves. This
all
should
right,
be
all right.
great.
I think I said there was 8
Yeah.
total.
Right. So
But
anything.
we'll say 7 and roll a d10. There we
Yeah,
go. So
okay.
on a 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, same as before, and then 4 through 10 is slaves.
I can't wait for this to ricochet and hit you in the head. Oh, yay, I'm dead.
Okay.
Okay, so Scott, you are
Can I
banned.
get my one ability? Can I just like not have any of that happened and instead have it hit me? Because fuck that.
Yeah, you could spend a persona and have
Yeah, you
have
can
it
spend
hit
a
you
persona
instead.
and have it hit you instead, yeah.
Well, it'd be lovely if I had any left.
No, you've got one left.
No, because I spent both
No, he
of them.
spent both of them.
You
Oh,
said
right.
you had 3.
No, I had 2.
No, he
Okay.
gambled and lost.
You're stupid. You said you had 3.
No, I said I had 2. I said
you
I had 2 persona.
You
You're
said
the one not listening. You're the one not listening.
Okay, guys.
recording people. You can
You know,
He
fuck it.
100% said 2.
I 100% said 2. Can I
That's
just
fine,
have it
that's
hit me instead? Like,
Um,
because I think it's not going to be any good if it like just hits Eel
well,
in a bad way.
okay. What I will let you decide is whether it does another mark, as in keeping the result of the last one, or whether you want to roll another die of fate. Actually, no.
No, it can't. No,
Yeah.
because he can't roll worse than he did for the.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
he
he
actually
rolled a
can't,
5
yeah.
for the.
Yeah, so
Because it doesn't actually matter what wound it deals to me because I'm down either way.
oh, are you? What's your? you
Well,
on-
I'm on like.
You're on. You've taken a severe, right? What's your lowest stat?
My lowest stat.
Yeah.
It
4.
is either perception, will, fort,
Yeah, so
or speed
4.
with 4.
Yeah.
Because my mortal wound is 11. So
Yeah. So Eel, I think you're taking another B9 right now.
Yeah.
And you're down.
I am down.
He still has armor, doesn't he? Oh no, it's a VA4.
It's
Yeah, that's no point.
VA4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you can roll that if you want, but
I don't have any
Oh.
fate to reroll. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't have any persona to take that one myself either.
Yeah.
Do you have any
Do you not?
persona?
I have
No.
3 persona.
Oh, spend a persona.
Oh, yeah, you could spend
Yeah.
a persona to
Spend a persona and like bounce it on me. I'm fine with that.
Bounce it on me. Bounce it on the fucker who did it to you.
Anyone, bounce it on anyone.
I mean, can I just not spend a persona to just not die?
No, I mean
You're not dead. You haven't taken a mortal wound.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can bounce it onto the slaves.
like. I'm okay with.
I mean, can I bounce it onto the slaves? Because
no, because the complication. This is spending a fate to introduce a complication, which has to be.
okay.
Spending
Yeah, but bowing it on Arkin.
Sure. I'm gonna fucking combat roll the shit out of this, and the lightning bolt's gonna hit Arcan instead.
You sure you want it to hit Arkan and not?
No, that's fine. Like, I'm fine with that as long as like.
B9
I
may
don't
Well,
have
it's
to-
Rob's choice. Rob, who do you actually want it to hit?
I mean, thematically, it makes more sense for it to hit Arcan because he's on the floor behind me.
Yeah.
So, like, Eel blasts this guy, and the rest of the fire hits whatever is behind the two of us fighting. Right?
Wait, is a mark B9?
B9, whatever that is for you. Yeah.
Yeah, no. If don't.
Okay.
Don't.
See, I can't take a B9 because that's a traumatic one for me.
No, that's a traumatic
not
one for me
dead.
as well.
Yeah, neither of the basically, who do you want to not quite die? That's the question right now.
I mean, Arkin.
No, I'll be unconscious. And then I won't be able to do anything.
Can you do anything right now anyway?
I mean, I've still got I've got a bow, right?
got a
It
bow
works.
that he successfully got. To
You know,
be able
just
to
have it like hit me.
Okay, sure.
Like,
So-
like, that's a traumatic one for me, and it puts me unconscious. So I want to.
So-
It's
For
also
the fight.
comeuppance, I guess.
Owl unleashes this blast that hits the guy, but in order to not hit me, Owl just sort of like ends up like crossing the streams and like blowing herself up.
Yeah, puts me unconscious.
It's just boom,
Okay, so Owl, you take a B9.
just flung out
That's
into the
a traumatic
corridor,
one
like
for me.
slightly on fire.
Okay. Okay. So, God, what does this look like? I mean, it's still your spell, Scott. So like, what did all of this that just happened look like?
Pretty much that. I
Yeah.
blew white fire from my hands, and it ricocheted and smacked me in the face, and now I'm unconscious.
So there's flames everywhere. I think what happens actually is like the room, the black smoke that kind of was filling this room before is like begins to just burn off like soot. And the room kind of lights up, and you see that it's quite a tall chamber, and above you is a like an echo chamber with like a banister going around the sides. And then in the center of the room is what looks like an ancient dried up fountain. And you also see there's another room beyond. I think the slaves at this point begin to kind of flee behind you.
I mean, I would.
Owl, as this like burning white, obliterating arc of lightning goes. And oh, actually, where do you want to be hit by your own thing?
My chest.
Chest. Okay. Yeah. So I think like literally, like just this bolt of white lightning goes straight through your sternum and out the other side, and you just like keel over. Arkan, you bear witness to all of this as you're like loading your bow, getting ready to shoot. And Eel is you're still in the fight.
Yeah.
Let's go to round 2.
Does this fucker look actually damaged?
Yeah, so he's at +1 ob and -2 dice to everything right now. He's not in as bad shape as some of you are, but there's I think you have a chance to take him out still. Oh, he should roll steel as well. That's another thing, because he did take a light wound.
Oh yeah, should I be rolling steel as well?
Did you take a light wound?
I took a severe wound.
Oh yeah, you should definitely roll steel.
Yeah. This can only go well. I am going to spend a persona on this because I would like to succeed. What is my ob?
Your ob is your hesitation.
6. Okay. Oh, come on!
Okay.
No, it's fine. He's
So
also hesitating.
he's hesitating for 4 actions. You're hesitating for 2,
Yeah.
whilst you're both just standing there, like, panting.
Yeah.
Arkan has finally
Arkan.
got himself up
Yeah.
off the floor, and he's like he's a kind of a mess. Like his hair is like kind of outside of its bindings, and he's kind of not really holding himself up. Like his feet are like spread really far apart, which is not how you should stand when you're shooting a bow.
No.
And like as he pulls the bow up to fire again, like it's swinging like kind of a bit wildly. And he just like screams incoherently as he shoots this ghost.
Ah!
Oops. Okay.
So yeah, I want to shoot the ghost while it's hesitating, and then after that, I'm gonna drop my bow and just like jump at it with my fists.
Okay. Yeah. So your ob is 1.
Okay.
It basically doesn't have any ways to defend itself right now.
Yeah.
And your shot is capable of wounding its soul.
I'm going to fork my ghost wise. I've seen a ghost be killed once.
Yes.
It was a very petty ghost. And the man who killed it, like he did not have a fun time doing so.
I mean, depending on the timeline, it's possible that you heard the stories of what happened in Page
Oh yeah, it's quite possible.
Like you may have even briefly met like Donati and
I think we'll leave that one until it's
we'll leave that one for
interesting
now.
to-
But there were definitely stories of what happened down in Page Upstairs, though. So yeah, you can definitely fork Ghostwise. There's anything else you want to fork?
I don't think so, unless no, I don't think so. I'd be reaching. Sure.
I think you've had time to also use essence if you want to.
Can I? Yeah, can I go for the Ob2 open end essence?
Yeah, sure. What
Yes,
are you
please.
calling this?
Oh, this is still like the Bolt of Alert. It's just the
Oh
same
yeah,
one
that's the
as
one
ever.
used before. Yeah, sure.
Fail.
Rip.
Moving on.
So then your
Modifiers 1, Arthur 0,
archery attack.
obstacle 1.
All right. Oof,
5
that's
successes.
a lot of 6s.
I'm spending a fate here.
Tripling the ob. Actually, you've already tripled the ob. Yeah, you're already at the maximum you can get for Die of Fate. But fair enough.
So I've got 8.
Eight successes.
Wow.
I'm sad that are you sure I can't spend those? No, I can't. Okay.
Well, roll a Die of Fate. One more to see how much damage you do. So yeah, definitely a D10.
Yeah. Cool.
He doesn't have armor. Yeah. Okay. So what does this look like?
I think like the bow like attaches itself to the arrow with like. Actually, no. I think around me the grass grows up around my knees and then flattens and like flies to pieces, and I think just gets blown up into the air and like cuts itself to pieces. And so the air around me is just full of this like hay, and the arrow. I don't think you see it really move, but like you can see it sticking out of this thing, and like as it's like stuck in its chest, it starts like sprouting and like growing into it, and like
oh yeah,
I think you see like little veins of blackness like going into the arrow, and then like
no, I've got the perfect
like,
I've got the perfect thing if I may.
Yeah.
Like so the arrow like hits it in the chest, like straight in the bone at the center of the sternum that connects all the ribs, and sticks in and goes like through into the center of the like empty chest cavity. And then there's like a moment where it like takes a step back from this like sudden arrow coming from nowhere, or that it like completely didn't expect. It looks down at itself, at this arrow like sticking out of it, and then the inside of its chest cavity like explodes and like grows outwards suddenly as the arrow bursts to life and grows into like a cactus that just like fills part of its chest.
Parrish did a similar thing in Page Up the
I think
Third,
it's-
isn't
I
he?
think
He had a
it's like a
similar
thornbush.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a specific charm which
ravenous
is against
thorn,
undead.
but,
Yeah.
This is Arkan's version, and yeah, no, I like the idea of it just like filling it with this life energy that it can't handle.
Yeah.
And I think you see it like waver, like the forces that kind of bind its skeletal body together begin to like weaken, and you see the sort of floating bones drop to the ground at its feet. And you see like the distance between its extended joints begins to stretch a bit more. It's like having a real hard time keeping itself together. And then there's like a second where like Eel is still like bleeding out of the chest. Owl is beginning to like fill a small area of the room with blood. And the antlions drops into a pile of bones on the ground, and blood just starts like continues to pour out of its mouth. But as it does so, it begins to like congeal and like rapidly dry and scab, and then like turn to dust and blow away. And the cactus continues to grow inside of its
Like
chest.
I think a thornbush is better. Like
Oh,
a
thornbush for sure.
sort of gauzy type thing that
Some kind of hawthorn, or yeah. Yeah, and it's still kind of like, and probably Arkan's the only one that's like conscious enough to really notice this, but it is like it's dry mouth is like muttering in like yeah, in this ancient language that you don't understand properly.
Can I make out any words of it at all?
It sounds like some kind of
It sounds faintly like I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
No, it sounds more like some kind of death curse.
Oh.
I
didn't realize we were doing Tomb of Annihilation. Wait, bad jokes.
It still appears to be alive, but it's kind of... This is what unconsciousness looks like for this creature. What are you doing?
Have I recovered from my hesitation yet?
Yes, I think you've now...
I stab it in the face.
Okay. Yeah, I think without its ability to resist, you can do your full damage to it, which is a B13, right?
Yes, B13.
Which is its mortal wound, and you can kill it. Yeah. And I think as you do, like you see where your spear is like stabbed through the skull into the ground. There is like a faint outline of like ectoplasmic essence squirming beneath the like point of your spear that then shatters like a kinetic gel that like hits the ground too hard.
Yeah,
yeah, and then the like pieces of that essence then like dissolves, and you've maybe never done this before, but you've probably read about it. Like, this is what it looks like when a ghost dies for real.
Nice. I think, like, leaning very heavily on the spear, Eel turns to Arcan and says, "That was quite impressive. You might want to lead with that next time."
I'm sorry. Forgive me, Eel.
It's okay, Arcan. I shit the bed the first time too.
We must try and help Owl.
I turn and, like, for the first time, I'm just like, "Oh shit." And I guess
Look,
I will go and help Owl.
It's beyond my ability to treat, I think.
I have some skill in field dressing.
No, you don't. You don't have any dice.
Food dressing doesn't work against traumatic wounds.
Well, remember.
We just need to stop the bleeding, but
Yes.
like it's a 6 to stop the bleeding.
Yeah,
So,
it's a 6 in it's a 6 in field dressing, 4 in apothecary, 3 in bloodlighting, 5 in herbalism, 2 in surgery. Blah blah blah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not a wood aspect domain thing? Because
medicine is a wood
Harris
aspect
did it.
thing.
it is, but I still only have like. I could try for a miracle, right? With 4 dice. That's my best shot, I think.
Let's see.
Because just stopping the bleeding as a
Stopping bleeding with only field dressing is against a traumatic wound is ob 6.
Yes, so I'm saying I could say like my miracle here is I'm just going to like stop the bleeding with a miracle. Like the miracle, like I'm just gonna. That's all I'm going to achieve.
Alternatively, I would allow you to like change it from traumatic to severe.
I mean that doesn't make it.
It changes the field dressing ob.
Yeah, not by much.
Yeah, yeah. I see what you see what you do there.
So you're saying you wouldn't let me just stop the bleeding with the?
No, I'd say you could stop the bleeding, but it would be a severe wound, which takes longer to recover from. Or you could change it. Sorry, it would be a traumatic wound. Or you could change it to a severe wound, and then stop the bleeding. It affects recovery time more than anything else, really.
I don't think we care that much.
Is it the same difficulty to do either of the 2 essence tests?
I think it's the same for either. Yeah.
In that case, I am trying to stop the bleeding.
Okay.
This is probably not going to work, but like we might.
We have to try.
You can't help, can you? No.
I don't think it's a shared domain. No.
No.
It is not.
Yeah. So I think Arcan like breaks off the stem of the tree and like starts crumbling pieces of the bark like into his hands and spits into them and like rubs around the edge of the wounds. And I think
like there is literally, I think, a 3 to 4 inch diameter hole straight through Owl's chest right now.
Yeah, and like he's trying to get this like to 3 to 4 inches. Holy shit! Exalteds are fucking tough.
Yeah.
It's cauterized, but it's still like, pretty bad.
I mean, I have like no concept of how that would be treated in the real world.
Let's say like 2 inches, but still.
Okay, that's still pretty bad.
I mean, it's 1 away from mortal, right? So.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so he's like doing this, and like the bark is then like regrowing itself, like it's forming itself back together, and like he's trying to make it sort of go all the way through her body and grow out the other side and like act as a second skin and keep the blood in.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And like
Oh, like when those dudes get impaled on like hollow tubes, and the thing that keeps them alive is like actually being impaled.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's see some good roll here. It's not going to happen, is it? Base obstacle 5.
Well, hang on.
3.
So I think it's actually ob 4.
Yeah, because I'm going for the stunt with this. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're going for a stunt with this, and also
Well-
like there's crossover between medicine and wood as
Oh,
well.
okay, in that case
which
it's
I'd
ob 3,
say
right?
would reduce. No. I think it's ob 4.
Because if you're
You got to reroll that.
no,
If you're face.
you're saying you're reducing the obstacle for it being crossover between wood and medicine, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
And then I'm also going for a stunt, which is a separate mechanic.
Sure. Yeah.
So I just succeeded on that roll.
Yeah, you did. Okay, yes.
Well done,
but
me.
You mark a
Hey!
difficult test instead of challenge.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with not having a team make you dead.
Scott, I just saved your life.
Stopped the bleeding.
Well, you're the one who fucking killed me to begin with by jinxing my goddamn rolls.
No, I'm the one who killed you to begin with by like not doing anything at the start of the combat.
And jinxing my rolls.
By
However,
dropping a brick, like shitting myself and panicking and
eel is also
almost
bleeding.
swapping sides.
Yeah. Can I treat myself?
You can try, but you're suffering a -3 to everything. Remember,
Um,
you can help somebody else treat you though if you've still
oh yeah,
got
that's a good
dice
point.
left. Like, is your field dressing 3 or 4 or higher?
It's 4.
Yeah. So
oh
you can
wow,
still,
okay.
So you can
Yeah,
still help.
so I think like Arcan like finishes this and like turns around to like see you like struggling with a
Yeah.
bandage, and he just like pushes your hand out the way. He's,
Just trying to do it one-handed, like leaning on the spear. Like fuck, I remember
Let
this being a
me-
lot easier.
Yeah.
I can
It's ob 3 field dressing.
I can still do this at least.
Okay. I will help.
I'm gonna fork my knots because I'm just holding the blood in.
Yeah,
Like,
sure. Yeah.
and I'm gonna fork. I think anything else would be a stretch.
Fair enough.
Maybe soldiering.
Ah.
Like this is a soldier. Like this is just a
Yeah.
sword cut as well. So it feels more like
Yeah, and the way that you just described it is kind of like doing your duty.
yeah.
I like that. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's like you've gone into like page up stair training mode where you're just like,
Yeah.
this is
And this is obstacle 3,
this is
isn't
ob
it?
3, yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, nobody dies.
No one's
Nobody-
bleeding.
What
Nobody
a
is
story.
Wait, I haven't been treated, right?
No,
No,
you're not
just have-
treated, but you're
that's-
not gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna bleed out.
You're just.
I mean,
you're
I
just.
do need treatment though.
You
'Cause if
still
I-
Yeah.
need treatment.
You're
You
minor
both
miracle.
still need
It's
treatment.
fine.
yeah.
This comes later.
Neither of you are just gonna die at the end of the scene, which would have happened otherwise.
So yeah, I think
I would be
Arcan,
dead at the end of the next scene.
like
Oh, yeah.
Arcan picks up Owl over his shoulders, like sort of hitched up behind him, and then
Yeah.
like offers the other
Proper
shoulder
fireman's carry.
offers the other shoulder to Eel for support, and then like I guess with
I've got the spear. I'm on
the
the spear.
and we just like yeah, I think Arcan is just like pulling both of you up, and it takes he probably has a couple of like really guilty glances behind him and feels like he's really hurrying to get out of that place.
Yeah, so I guess here's a question. Didn't you have a belief about looting this place?
I took something, right? Although I would like to come back and loot this place more thoroughly. Like I have a valuable, right?
Yeah. Okay. I should mention actually, like you probably noticed this when all of the like black clouds burned off. On a pedestal at the top of the like dried up fountain is a small blue crystal.
Oh, I definitely take that.
Yeah. I thought you might.
I think I pointed it to Eel and say like, perhaps to give Al something to look at while she recovers.
Well, we certainly need to keep her busy somehow.
Um,
Can you?
that
Just like
thing,
it's just out of my arm's reach. I'm just like, just pick it up. I can't be bothered.
is that thing dead forever?
To the best of my knowledge.
I see. I see. I hope those slaves don't get the wrong idea.
What?
We've been defeated or something.
I'm sure they'll. If they return here, they will certainly see what has happened. If they return to the surface, then, well, it is not something to trouble ourselves with. Our duty here is done for now.
Okay.
Eel,
Sorry, carry on.
have I said I was sorry? I don't remember.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. If you wish for me to look for a different calling than this one, I will understand.
Let's talk about it when we get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like I think we sort of at the entrance of the temple, like wait for the basket to come down
Yeah.
and very sort of laboriously get ourselves into it.
And get a cable car back to the
Yeah.
entrance of the mine.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I think we pass a bunch of miners like going up, and they're just like, "What the fuck happened to you guys?" And we're just like, "Sup."
Okay. So I guess you get to the you get to the entrance of the mines, and it's probably like evening now. Yeah, we'll say it's sunset, twilight. You guys are still in pretty bad shape and still need to get proper treatment.
The Shikari are still at them, waiting for us at the mine head, aren't they? Because
Oh yeah, I guess they meet you. There was what was the message that Al sent to them?
Be on the guards for like slave revolt happening
Oh yeah.
right now. So I guess like we probably come upstairs and there's like a much heavier guards presence.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The guards are like they're checking everyone who comes in and out of the mines now, and probably at this point Piri has come back to the surface, and like comes to your aid when she like sees you from the tower, like clambering out of the cable car.
Yeah.
Or the cable cart. And yeah, like rushes over and is sort of like, "Oh my goodness, what happened to you all? Are you okay? Is she all right?"
There is time enough for tales later. They need medical attention. This one and myself specifically.
Of course. She like thinks for a moment and says, "We We have a first aid specialist on site, but this looks beyond their capabilities. There's a doctor, doctor's office towards the center of Howdarn, or I don't know. Maybe you know somebody
Call
else.
Kuzma Beg. He will come with us to this doctor's office, and the doctor will know that it is time to put his best work.
Eel very subtly appreciates Arcan's tack there. It's like, I wouldn't have been able to do it myself, but seeing as you said it, I'm okay with this.
So I think I'm gonna say yes to you guys just finding a doctor. Because what's really important is like whether they're successful with treating you and then how long recovery takes. That's sort of that's the interesting question here, not whether or not a doctor hates you or something, right? Like, I'm not gonna make you circles up a doctor. So I guess I'll just roll his medicine for you.
If this helps, right? I was thinking about like retroactively, half retroactively, but like just recognizing that like I've got a changed belief right here. That like,
oh yeah, you do.
I think it would be something along the lines of, I failed to something along the lines of like, these dynasts saved my life. I will not let them die. I will get them all the treatment they need to be healthy.
I'm cool with making a thing out of that if you want it.
Yeah, I mean, by stating that though, you've now you're telling me to challenge that. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, maybe I don't change it. Sure. I don't mind.
No, I think giving him a change of heart or a change of attitude is a good idea, but now is maybe not the time.
Now is hardly the time. One of my favorite songs from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Because we've established that like the ghost is dead.
Yes.
Your mission is technically successful, but we also know as players.
Okay, I'm just gonna run the game for myself.
Sure. Okay. What do you want to do?
Will, I want you to challenge me on this, and like the obvious thing to challenge me on is that like, I mean, I've got some valuable shit now, right? Like I've got a crystal that is really valuable, and I think the second crystal isn't really mine, but like I definitely have something that is like valuable that you could
that's
treat
true.
as collateral for this.
Oh, so yeah, maybe the challenge is how much does it cost?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So instead of a circles test, it's a resources test.
Yeah. So I think I'm serious about trying to force Kuzme Beg to.
Yeah. Okay. So perhaps he can. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking. What? Remind me. What was the consequence of the last time you went to his house? Did
It
he
was-
like you? Did he?
He got scared by the idea of the wild hunt, like and what we could potentially do to him if he was seen to be collaborating.
Yeah,
Mm.
And then
I think it was.
agreed-
I think his thing was he wants to see us gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he secondly wasn't interested in haggling with me because like he still saw the wild hunters like being like he agreed with Ale that it wasn't his place, right?
Mm. Okay. Yeah. So let's and so Rob Eel's still conscious, right?
Yes.
And Owl is unconscious. I kind of want to get Scott back in the game soon.
Scott, actually, if Scott, are you okay with us taking this digression? Because if you just want to get it back into the game,
Fine.
then
Well, no, I appreciate that Scott hasn't done a lot this session.
No,
and
I'm
this has
asking.
happened before as well. So, like, Scott,
Yeah.
what's
No, it's fine. If you want to do it, just do it.
Okay, let's not do it. That's fine. We'll just go with the like going straight to the treatment role.
yeah, sure.
That's fine.
Because there is another interesting thing that we as players kind of know is happening soon.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Which is like town's about to get about to be attacked. So yeah. All right, I'm just gonna roll this doctor's shit, and I guess you can help with field dressing if you want to.
I think both of us can help with field dressing. For
Yeah, there's no downside to us not helping. So.
For Eel's role, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for Eel's role, we'll call this guy. We'll say he has. Given this place's culture, I don't think he's a surgeon. I think he's a bloodletter. So, what's your wound, Rob?
My wound is a B9.
No, what category?
Oh, severe, sorry.
Severe. Actually, no, we'll say this guy's an apothecary. That's probably more tribal-esque. So, and then you're both helping with field dressing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 5 successes against
There's not enough.
Ob 6. Yeah, so this is going to affect your health test, basically.
Okay.
We'll get to that in a sec, and then we'll also do Eel. And I guess
Owl.
both helping. Sorry, Owl.
Yep.
Helping again.
Yep.
So you were doing Owl first and then Eel.
Oh no, I can give him. Can I retroactively try and give him an extra dice
For what?
with essence? Oh no, I can't. No, sorry. No, I don't have enough. I don't have enough.
Fair enough. And then another 8, so 7. Okay, so that was Eel first and Owl second.
What a mistake to make.
Yep.
All right, Rob. Make an Ob 4 health test.
Okay.
Sorry.
I can't fork anything into an attribute. So.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I can spend a persona on it.
Spend Arthur on it, yeah.
I'll spend a persona. Ob 4. Fuck my life.
You might have a 6 in there, so you can.
I have no fate.
Oh well. So you have to permanently reduce an appropriate stat.
And Owl, you make an Ob 5 health test.
I can succeed that
That
unless I
means
roll
you
5
miss.
die. Supposed to be up 5, so that's a fail.
Okay, so you've. Ooh.
That is bad.
Yeah, I have the only appropriate thing I could lose here would be a fort, making me B4. And if I'm going to be honest, I'd rather not play that because that would essentially kind of make my character completely useless.
The other
Because
thing
my
we could
fort-
do is like just Will could say, okay,
you
you
can-
take a trait of some sort, like
Yeah. So hang on, let me get the full book for this because my.
Because I've got it open. I've got failed treatment or recovery open.
Mm.
And it says failed recovery from midi, severe, and traumatic wounds. Least a bleeding scar, blah blah blah. The remaining dice are permanently subtracted from an appropriate stat. If the stat happens to be reduced to 0, the character is permanently comatose.
Yeah.
Better save after the reassess. Also reduce the cap of the depleted stat by 1. Thus, if you fail to recover from a midi wound to the arm,
Yeah.
you lose 1 die, say power, and your power cap is reduced from 8 to 7. Take a die trait to represent it. So you have to take a trait to represent it, but you still have to reduce stats. Like there's no way of getting out of it.
Yeah. So it reduces from your max, but you can recover the difference. So yeah, we could say that your fort drops down to a B1.
Yeah, then I'm sorry. There's no point in me ever playing my character if it's a
Yeah,
B1
that's fine.
fort. Like if I take away from any of my stats, I literally will be unplayable. Like I can't take away from power, agility, or speed. The only
This
way I
is
can
like-
take away from fort
Well,
would be
okay.
B1.
So first of all, I'd say like we could split it up.
See, I like
-1 from each.
it's still.
I'm still going to be B2.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be
Yeah,
B2 in all my other stats. So I'm going to be honest. I'd rather not play a character with B2
okay,
in every
hang on.
stat.
So let's talk this out first of all, because I don't want to just completely write off your character, and at the very least, like we need to figure out what happens. So obviously getting a hole through your chest is going to affect your breathing.
Like it's
quite badly.
Gonna
So
affect
I think fort is certainly an appropriate stat to reduce from. Getting reduced down to 1 in your fort doesn't actually make you unplayable. It means that you need to avoid combat at all costs in all future scenarios, and it means that you basically always have to flare your anima whenever you cast spells.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't want to play that. I don't want to play a character who's unable to do combat. And every time I cast a spell, I will have to flare anima. I would rather not play that. Like, I don't want to be stuck in that situation in which I'm
No, I
useless.
I hear you. But this is how the dice have rolled.
Yeah, which I'm fine with.
Yeah. So, let's like keep playing, for now. But I guess Owl gets, at some point, retires from the Wyld hunt, and
like there's nothing I can really do while she's like unconscious with B1.
Yeah, no. Right now, you're in a coma for like 6 months, I think.
So there's nothing I could do.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I guess I'll just start working on my next character then. So
bear with us. Bear with us. Okay. Yeah, so Eel's recovery time. I think the way I want to do this. So this is the thing I've been thinking about for a while, is like the medicine roll that you do before is like weird, and people have already complained about it on Reddit. And anyway, so I'm thinking of like adding on time for margin of failure based on the medicine roll, rather than it affecting the health test necessarily. Anyway, So I think Eel, it's going to take you 4 months to heal completely.
Okay.
So if you just mark for now, like injury recovery 4 months, like minus
I don't
minus
see
3
this.
die
Oh,
for
injury
4 months.
recovery.
Yeah, just like 4 months severe or something like that, just so that we know for now. We can sort this out properly between sessions. And you got cut in the chest. Is that right? Did you get cut in the chest?
Yeah. It was across the chest.
Yeah. So, do you think that? Which do you think is more appropriate? I think either fort or speed. Like
don't see how it would
speed is
do
speed is your overall body coordination. So having a big like scar on your chest is probably going to affect that.
Could be power as well.
Could be power as well. Yeah. It's up to you.
I don't actually know how decreasing this is going to affect. Does it affect the rest of my stats?
Yeah. So what it means is because your margin of failure on the health test there is 1.
Yeah.
So one of these
So I
stats
lose 1 point.
reduced by 1, and the cap in that stat will get reduced from 7 from
Is it?
Oh,
it
shit.
From 8 to 7. Yeah.
Sorry, I need to interrupt. I would be dying actually. Field treatment for MIDI through
my point here is that this is like really confusingly written because like
Yes, it
you're
is.
not dying. We've established that you're not bleeding.
Well, because it says here, right? Field treatment or recovery.
Yeah,
Field treatment for MIDI through
I know what it
traumatic.
says. I know what it says. This is what I was just
I should
saying.
be bleeding to death.
It's just confusing. Yeah,
I've thought about this behind the scenes. I encountered this exact same problem when Denali was dying. I'm ignoring that for now because what it means if you do it exactly rules as written is you can end up in an endless cycle of just like getting doctor after doctor to try and help you, and that's not interesting.
It's realistic, but it's incredibly boring to play.
It's against the rules of the game. Like
yeah, it's because let it ride is like
it's like either you're untreatable and you're gonna be an invalid forever, or you're gonna get better.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think an appropriate trait for Rob to just get as a wound, which is, we'll call it like gaping scar on chest or something, giant gash on chest. What do you want, Rob?
I guess just I guess disfigured torso makes the most sense.
Disfigured's nice. Torso, and do you want this to affect power, fort, or speed?
Again, does it affect any of my active skills or just the stat?
No, it's just the stat.
Okay, then I guess it would make the most sense to take it in fort.
Sure. So reduce your fort by 1, and this trait will reduce your max.
I'll wait until you finish typing.
Oh yeah, because it will switch the page.
Yeah.
Max fort reduced to 7, and then go to stats and skills.
Go to stats and skills, and my fort goes down to
drops down
3.
to 3. So you're also in a coma, basically. Like once you've properly rested and like the adrenaline cools off, you just start sleeping. You're like you're out for at least a month. Before you recover the first die from your severe wound there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Eel sorted. Arkan, you're not wounded at all, are you?
I'm actually I feel really weird about this.
It's okay. And so Al, yeah, let's talk about what happens to Al now. Let's like give her a decent epilogue.
I don't think the most decent epilogue she gets is she's sent back to the Blessed Hour. She wakes up and is in a wheelchair for the rest of her life reading books.
Um, yeah, so I guess this hole in her chest never properly heals, and will basically affect her breathing for the rest of her life, and kind of puts a sudden end to her career as a shikari, but also kind of as a sorceress, since it means that she can't really properly cast spells without like endangering those around her. Um, so she probably goes on to become like an academic, right? Like her interest in spellcasting and lore and history in the world and so on would probably not change. Your mental stats aren't affected by this wound, and so I think like obviously it's up to you and feel free to add to this. But yeah, perhaps Al goes on to basically, um, once she eventually gets back to the Blessed Isle and recovers from her wound, wakes up, realizes her situation. Um, yeah, probably. Uh, yeah, just starts like doing academic research. Either like what would she go back to heptagram? Do you think, or is she like branching out on her own?
Probably branching out.
Mm. What subjects do you think is she like a
Probably just
specialist?
like ancient history and shit.
Ancient history. Yeah, cool. Where do you think she ends up like on the Blessed Isle, roughly?
Probably in like some far corner where like she's not really bothered by people.
Yeah, okay. So she retains her wizardly trope of
Mm.
being a recluse.
Hmm.
Um, but I guess she probably doesn't live in a wizard's tower anymore because that's probably like
No, she
stairs are probably a bit too much.
Oh God, that got dark all of a sudden.
I think Arcan, like when he hears that you're awake, like he
Oh,
probably
she would
spends,
forbid you from seeing him.
no, he
from
probably
seeing her.
spends several days, like even like trying to like decide to go and see you, and then like eventually goes to ask Eel whether he should go and see you and apologize, right? Um,
Mm.
and like, have you already told it like did Owl already tell like Eel that that's not allowed?
Yeah, like she would have informed Eel that she doesn't want Arcan to have any contact with her.
Okay. Did she say why?
No, she doesn't divulge any of that information.
Oh,
Wow,
Yeah.
you are not helping this dude's
Yeah.
mental scars.
So you guys definitely spend at least the next month in Howdarn still.
Yeah.
To just get to even be awake, and to like make a decision about what to do next. During this time, though, the town comes under attack by some mountain tribesmen living further away who want to try and plunder the jade mines. And were you not all unconscious, I'd probably give you like all a chance to like add to this. But I guess Arkan can. So perhaps Ollie, do you want to decide the outcome of this, or like help it in some way, or like what? Just kind of going off what we discussed for the original plan for this game.
Yeah.
Like
What Arcan is going to do is when because like I feel like I'm allowed to have this insight on Kuzma Beg's character because
sure, yeah.
When
'cause
Kuzma
your
Beg
character,
comes
so-
to the incredibly powerful and strong Dragon Blood warriors who he knows killed a ghost, and begs them for help, the only one able to stand and walk around refuses him and tells him that this entire town will be taken over by the tribesmen and that he's to take everything that he holds dear and leave.
Nice.
Can I get a roll for that one?
Yeah, I guess that's ugly truth, right?
Yeah.
Worst
If I
possible-
succeed, I want to see because Vivek's still a character, we can see him again in the world someday. If I fail, he dies horribly, and I feel bad about it.
Yeah, sure. Also, I think if you succeed, his resources just gets halved.
I'm gonna give myself a +1 for raid wise.
Yeah, sure.
Makes sense.
I guess this is based on like
I think it's on one. It's like a
If they find
worst
you,
possible.
they will take everything you hold dear, and then they will kill you.
yeah, there we are.
Yeah. So Cosmo flees the city, abandoning his investments, basically only taking his wife and daughter, and like as much as he can carry.
As much jade as he can carry.
I like to think that he takes his daughter and all the jade he can carry, and then his wife is like, "Where the fuck do you think you're going? You wait for me, goddammit!"
Yeah.
He
Where's
very
he
nearly
flee to?
conveniently forgets about his wife.
Yeah. Does he go back to the realm, or does he go somewhere else? Do you think?
I think we want to leave where he ends up. Like, doesn't matter. Doesn't
Okay,
just
sure.
like pull out
Yeah,
your hat some point in the future.
All right. I'll keep
Kismabeg is like
them in my
running some
pocket.
business. His wife spends the entire time shouting at him for being shit.
Yeah.
All right, I'll keep this guy in my pocket. Yeah, so I guess the town. Well, so actually, here's the kind of fun thing is so you convinced Cosmo Beg to leave, but does the town actually get overrun?
I'm not sure. Honestly, like that's like prime Die of Fate
Yeah.
territory. Because I've got no horses in this race.
I don't think anybody does.
I'm unconscious.
All right, I'll give it a
If I was conscious, I would say let it happen. But...
I'll give it a 1 to 4. Howdan stands. 5 or 6. The tribesmen get win out. All right, Howdan stands.
But at what cost?
But at what cost? Yeah, I'll have a think about that. That will have more of a world effect more than anything.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure glad we didn't play that campaign. That would have been a really shit ending.
Right. So we can sort out practice time between sessions, I think.
I'll message you when I care about that.
Yeah. So I guess a month passes. The tribes leave. I think some of the slaves are liberated, but they're just taken as slaves to the new tribes. And
Yeah.
Liberated is the wrong word.
Yeah.
Some of the slaves get stolen.
Arcane just watches this and just thinks same shit, different day.
Yeah. Some of the jade gets stolen. But ultimately the Imperial garrison holds them off. And then because Cosma's left, I think Pelops Howdan steps back up as watching this shit more carefully and gets Imperial reinforcements at some point to come from Kirigast or somewhere else. Yeah, so a month passes, and it's at this point that Eel, you finally kind of feel able. I think you've been barely conscious for the last month, passing in and out of consciousness.
Yeah.
Continually.
It's one of those things where it's just like you're conscious for maybe like 6 hours of the day, but you're so weak you can't do anything anyway.
You can't. You don't even have the energy to like read or converse
Yeah.
properly or anything like that. It's like proper recovery.
Like you wake up, like you get fed something, and then you just like
yeah,
fuck
and probably like every time you wake up, like Owl is in the bed like across from you, and you're like aware of her presence, and you're probably
Yeah.
aware of like Arkan coming to visit you every now and then, but
Yeah.
it's only after a month or so that you properly have the energy to get back up and walk around again. And well, even then, it's rough.
Yeah. I don't imagine out here they have like pain suppressants or anything.
Yeah. So I think between sessions we can also do a trait vote.
I feel like we might want to delay the trait vote for one session of like whoever the new character is from. Like, do we want to do that, or do?
Is it worth doing a trait vote for a brand new character though?
I don't think it is.
I don't know. I feel like
this is the end of this arc, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess trait vote between sessions makes sense in that case. But I like, in order to be like fair, I guess. If Scott like wants an extra character trait for free, that's
yeah,
fine.
sure. We can just say that Scott's new character gets a bonus trait point or something.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm cool with that.
Okay. And so I guess Arkan gets a couple months worth of practice in. If he wants. I guess there's also Okay. So probably once you're back awake and are kind of able to take correspondence again, at some point I guess you make the decision to move Owl back to the homeland.
Yeah. I think like the first time Owl is fully conscious, Owl is just like I want to go home, and I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah. Well, that would be 6 months down the line. So would you want to stay in Howdan for 6 months?
Oh, that's a good point.
Sent back to the Basadeo.
Yeah, I suppose like
Actually,
as soon
well,
as
we said you had that conversation, so maybe you do.
Yeah, I guess the question is would at what point would Owl be fit to move? Is that at the end of the 6 months?
Yeah, that's probably at the end of the 6 months. Honestly.
Then we wait.
And probably during that time, you're in contact with your chapter house.
Yeah.
Back on the Blessed Isle, and they're probably like working out like how much. Like, okay, they want to know what happened, how much resources were spent, like, etc., casualties, and then working out like where to send you next and who else to send your way to help you out because you're a man down now.
Yeah.
So I guess in that 6 months. Will be also when you're waiting for Scott's character to show back up again.
Yes.
Or not again, but Scott's new character to show up. So that means that, Ollie, you have a full 6 months worth of practice, plus the month from the start of the campaign, if you haven't already done that.
The month from the start of the campaign, I just like called 2 tests because you're mostly traveling. So
yeah.
I'll give myself a test in bow and a test in ugly truth that we agreed, and that's basically.
And then Eel, you have 5 months of practice, plus 1 from the start when you were traveling.
Okay.
And Owl, Scott, I am really sorry about what's happened this session.
Fine.
I mean, blame Rob, right, for not tanking that hit.
That's fine.
I could have taken the second hit, but then we wouldn't have killed the ghost. right?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
But that's the only reason I didn't want to take the hit is because I was like, well, like if it had been any less than traumatic, I maybe would have gone with it. But like,
Yeah.
there's no way I can actually do the thing I needed to do.
Okay.
Well, I
well,
think whoever took it was going out.
Yeah. So I think we should end the session there. So and let's earn some Arta. And I guess also if people want to, if we've got time, I can share a couple of my ideas about like where to go next.
Okay.
So Scott, why don't we earn Owl some Arta first?
Sure. I mean, I don't think I can really are.
I think your persona, some of your persona can carry over into the new character.
I would only gain like one persona from that.
Right, well, let's
That's one free persona, dude. Don't throw away a free persona.
Let's figure it out. So you've got do we think fate or persona for number one?
Well, let me.
I think just the fate.
No, I think Persona. I mean, it's dead.
Yeah, you achieved it.
Yeah, but I didn't kill it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. So persona, yeah. Okay, yeah. So number two, here's a question.
Oh.
Just before Owl gets sent back to the realm, Arkan, do you give her one of these two stones that you've found and been holding on to for like 6 months?
I think the second stone, right? The one that like I didn't pick up myself.
The one that's on the altar.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So you give it to me to give to Owl as Owl is leaving.
Does Owl like find out what it is?
I mean, I will probably.
Yeah, Owl would eventually find out what it is. I guess I can
tell the
you.
Wyld Hunt, I guess.
Well, yeah, maybe we get a letter a little bit further down the line.
Yeah. Like Eel gets.
I feel like that's an interesting way to keep the character alive.
Yeah, I mean, Owl could be like join the R&D department or whatever, right? Like for the Wyld Hunt. If she's still really interested in like fighting the anathema, that's totally an option.
Can we add her as a circle?
Probably Eel can, but I can.
I guess you can add X PCs as relationships. Why not?
Sure. Let's have a. I presume they are minor.
Yeah.
Minor, not family. You are neither forbidden, hateful, nor romantic. So.
And do you want to know what it is right now, or do you want to like have it be?
Or later, definitely later.
Okay, all right, sure. Since we just did that in like a narrative way, though, I don't think that's worth fate. And then I don't think we worked towards number 2.
I mean, no, it's still worth fate because
I suppose, it will drive the story later.
And it's also like the difficulty is getting Arkan to give it to him, and the fact that like,
that's true.
The situation doesn't
unintentionally work towards it.
Yeah.
Okay, so reminder. Send a message later. Tell me what blue stone is. Cool. Okay, and then. I'll also give you a fate for arrogant.
I think heroic should probably get one as well, because it was incredibly heroic what Owl did, because she knew that in doing so she was going to fuck herself.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Sure.
Was for the greater good in a sense.
Yes. Someone would be proud.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Arkan.
I think I want to take for fate for the first one. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because it came up with the the question of like, am I gonna betray the Wild Hunt? Like that's the reason.
Yeah, that's sort of yeah.
And it also came up with standing aside and letting Kism beg. Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Definitely Persona for Belief 2.
Yep. I mean, he did it letter for letter, if not in the way we were expecting.
It eventually with a single shot.
Yes.
And many strikes from the rest of the people.
Yeah.
Fighting it.
Yeah.
It's still a one shot, even if the enemy is on 1 hit point.
I don't think you touched on Belief 3 though.
No, I didn't know.
No. You weren't forced to use. You didn't use a sword in the end.
Instincts didn't come up.
I think Respectful of Elders is fate-worthy.
Should have had
or easily exploited.
No, I was gonna say like you kind of interrupted me at a moment where like I knew that there was a choice between easily exploited and something else, and you were like explicitly offering that option. And like I was just kind of work out what I was gonna say, but I didn't take that. No.
I'd actually argue that you played against easily exploited.
I did play against it.
Yeah, you did actually,
because you took Eel's advice and you turned down.
Yeah, that's
Kuzma's
true.
opportunity,
That's true.
And you didn't succumb to the ghost when you could have quite easily done that.
And then
in that case, maybe Persona for embodiment then.
I'll take that. And then the rest of my stuff didn't come up because, like, I still didn't get wounded, and we weren't really having conversations with people.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. And then since we're at the end of an arc, who was the workhorse? Who was the MVP?
Hang on, we're going to do mine first.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah, Eel doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's fine.
No, go ahead. Steve.
Okay. I don't know that I did anything towards Belief 1. I didn't really listen to people's input because there wasn't much talking. Belief 2, I think, is a Persona because I let Arkan confront him alone. I aided him when it was needed, and at the end of the day, the anathema was destroyed. So tick, tick, tick.
Yep, Persona.
And I did nothing towards Belief 3. I will probably can that because
yeah, I mean like I said, there's we're skipping over like 5 or 6 months. During that time, you could have conversations with him and do that. But we can mark that as practice, I guess.
Yeah, I think
we can have a scene there if you want, like later.
I think though that because of what happened while she was out, I think Eel realizes that perhaps like circumstances potentially could have been well, no, let me rephrase that. Given the pressures that they were under, perhaps the respect for the Immaculate Faith was not a consequence, but a symptom. Because there was something much, much deeper going on under the surface.
Yeah, and especially with the result of the battle that was fought earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry, not as in the raids. There will be an increased realm presence in the city afterwards.
Yeah.
So that is kind of going to happen anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So I think we can that one because of what happened. Didn't really do anything with instincts. I definitely think I played into seen some shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
shit myself the first time too.
Sorry, that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also played Ideologue as well because I lectured a fucking ghost.
You lectured
on
a ghost.
the ways of the dragons.
Yeah, I missed that one. Yeah.
I wasn't pliant. I didn't have wasted potential. So yeah, that's 2 Fate, 1 Persona.
Yeah, and obviously it doesn't matter right now, but I think if you want an instinct that's liable to get you in trouble, writing an instinct about meditation is probably a good way to go.
Yeah, no, I think I've been doing it by myself, being like, yes, I'm going to meditate while other people do things. I think I might do that.
Yeah. Cool. And then I don't know if I'm going to do this every time. We'll see how it goes. But because I want this campaign to be more kind of grandiose, and what you guys have done that will and does have a greater effect on the world, I'm going to give everyone a deeds point.
Hey.
And,
so I played 2 campaigns now and earned 2 deeds points.
Scott, your deeds will carry on to the next character.
Alright, okay.
But I guess mark it for now. Cool. Yeah, and then MVP and workhorse.
What's the difference again? I can't even
So
remember.
MVP is like they stood
being
up
the
and
crucial
they-
element of success. Workhorse is doing all the work for a scenario.
So I think Arcan should probably get MVP for like taking the one moment the boss was down and one-shotting the fuck out of him.
I mean, that said, like it was only as big a wound as unless it had more effect because of the like I don't know how the ghost thing interacts with a stat block, right?
Yeah.
But like,
well,
Arkan dropped his stuff and Eel stood up and just like fought it out for like almost.
I was hoping you'd nominate me for workhorse in the counter to that.
Well, so remember, think about the whole 5 sessions that we've done.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I think workhorse is definitely Al.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, good point. Good point.
Like that's very much the position. It's like no guys, we're doing it wrong. Guys.
Yeah, because Al did find basically like all of the information.
Yeah, like any time that we had a problem, it's like, oh, we already know the answer to this problem. Good shit.
All right, yeah. So I'll take a persona for
yeah.
And then MVP, yeah, I think it could go. I think it could go to any 3 of you actually. Like, I think like it was technically Arkan's like final stand that was the crucial element of success. And as we said, had Arkan been the one that got hit by lightning, then that wouldn't have happened. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it should go to Arkan, actually.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Oh, actually, I'll give you a right skill, right time, Rob, for ancient languages.
Oh yes, yeah. Nice. Yeah, nice. That was me to 3 fate. Wow, so I finished that session with 1 less fate and 1 less persona, and that is it.
Yeah.
Despite spending literally all of my fate and almost all of my persona. Yeah.
That's why you spend it, because if you play the game right, by the end you'll
get
be
it back.
Cool. So how do we think that adventure went, just generally? Again, I'm very sorry, Scott. That's just how the dice fell.
In dice terms, it went complete garbage in that last session, but I mean, enjoyed it.
Apart from your wushu, right? Your wushu was solid.
Oh yeah, apart from my wushu, which was just like fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like you fucked up on exactly 1 roll.
And it cost me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, had you gotten like even 1 success on that defense maneuver, you could have, you wouldn't have taken a severe wound.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, and obviously, if you're still in the moment, feel free to send me feedback on this later in the week. But like, yeah, general thoughts on how this scenario played out, things that you liked, things that you didn't like. Was it mysterious enough? Was it spooky enough? Did we hit on all the themes that wanted to be hit on, etc. And like thoughts on what you may want to see next in the next adventure.
I liked it. I definitely think the next time I want to see a villain on the same sort of like level of intelligence as us, like something that is like actively trying to like hide from like us specifically, like trying to outwit us.
Less of a thing that's like just horrifically difficult to kill, and more of a thing that's horrific. I guess it's the go and hunt a rogue Luna, right? It's that kind of like,
or a fae or something.
But yeah, something that like
something tricksy.
There's more role playing, and then more like that kind of stuff.
Like, we're gonna catch it, and it's gonna be like, "Oh, please don't kill me. I've got things to do."
Sure. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I kind of think that's like my criticism of myself this campaign was that like I didn't play into, like, I didn't introduce people when I should have. Like, there was a moment where people were like, "Hey, roll circles and find a slave to talk to," and I was like, I should have actually just done that. And had that be a person, because you know it's opportunities to have introduced characters. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Like,
Pacing okay?
There were moments where it dragged, if I'm honest. But...
yeah, that's true. Any specific moments that you can think of?
The third round of so as soon as I thought about this again the other day. As soon as we got into the tunnel, but with
yeah, I agree.
What you should have done there is you should have said, right, this scenario isn't going to change. We're just going to resolve the rest of it with the bloody verses. Done it in 1 roll and been like, okay, like it's over now.
Yeah, no, because I realized my mistake as soon as I did it, which was my kind of like consequence of of Owl going off on her own was, oh, there's another enemy. And then I was like, wait a minute, there's another enemy now. Oh god, I just increased the duration of this fight by like half an hour.
Yeah. I mean, introducing another enemy wasn't like a terrible mistake, but like you just had to be prepared to say, okay, we're cutting the interesting like cinematic
Yeah,
part,
like,
and now it's just getting down to business. And
yeah, because that was the other part that like was when we were sort of like going around and looking for clues, and it was sort of we were sort of like, oh, we can go and investigate this hole, or we can go and investigate this weird spooky underground thing, and it felt like we just kind of chased ends because the NPCs were reluctant to like take us to the source.
Do you mean like when I took you to the sand pit instead?
Yeah,
of
when we
going
spent
straight
ages
to
digging a hole for like
right, yeah.
basically fuck all reason, because we just then fucked off and did something else.
Yeah, yeah, that was probably my own fault for badly setting up a red herring.
Yeah.
What was the red herring? Sorry.
The mechanical antlion aren't the real antlions.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't think it was necessarily bad, because like the my assessment of like that moment was like, oh, there's something more to this than just an anathema. It's an anathema with allies, and I kind of knew what it was gonna. It was like, oh, it's obviously a creature that can burrow.
Also, if you'd just shown us the ghost straight away, it would have been like, well, what was doing all the burrowing and killing them? Like,
yeah, no, I think that was the right thing to do. I just think that scene, it felt like arbitrarily increased, because it was just sort of like, oh, we'll stay here and investigate this, instead of being like, oh, maybe we should move on. There's something else here.
Yeah.
It just felt like we were ticking boxes for the NPCs.
Yeah.
Also, the moment like I knew it was going to be a ghost, I was like, man, we just dragged the Shikari around on a fucking tour of these mines, and now I'm just going to tell them to fuck off because they can't fight ghosts.
I've got to say, I'm actually kind of sad that I'm not kind of sad. I'm really sad that I don't get to continue the like Arcan Owl like incredibly hilarious hostile relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was a lot of fun.
Scott, you haven't said anything for a short while. How are you feeling about all this?
I'm fine.
Was it really though?
Yeah, you don't sound fine.
There's nothing I could have done. Like,
no,
like
it's true.
I had no way to contest what was happening.
Sure, but I mean, my question is broader than that. It's like, how do you feel about the situation in general, and what else do you want to see from this game?
Shrug, I don't know.
Fair enough. Well, if you do think of anything, then message me.
I just need that new sheet so I can start working on next character.
Sure.
You know what I'm most impressed by in this session? I managed to get a challenging steel test with a B8.
Oh shit, I've got a second challenging steel test. Right?
Wait, why do you get a second?
Well, because I can't take a second one because it's
the same enemy.
No, but it's like he intimidated me. It was a steel test.
Oh yeah, you mark that steel test, sorry.
Yeah, but I can't because I don't have space.
Yeah. Also, I guess you guys were in a real fight with gore and bloodshed, so I think that's a difficult test for you, Arkan.
Yeah.
But not for me.
But not for you, no.
I don't get shit. I have steel 8. I have to like literally jump into volcanoes to get steel tests.
Yeah, no, you have to survive sustained artillery barrages, or literally encounter like the incarnate gods or something. Like,
I did that in a different game.
What did you?
You met a Donata.
He's not an incarnate god.
Is he not? Oh no,
No.
no, he's still a lesser god, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a very high-ranking lesser god.
Yeah.
How come? I never asked this. How come you stopped playing in the same session as Jen?
Pardon?
How come you stopped playing in the same session as Jen? Was it just like timing differences?
We quote unquote finished
Oh right, okay.
the session. We got to the end of the Patch Upstairs arc, and it was sort of like, oh, we all go our separate ways now, and we'll continue this campaign another time. And it's been the Donati campaign, and it's sort of like,
yeah, it was like a year. There was about a year break between the end of Patch Upstairs and the start of the Donati campaign.
Okay.
And the start of the Donati campaign was really me just saying like, hey, I really want to play Burning Wheel, and here's some hacked together rules for doing it with Exalted.
Yeah.
And I think this is a perfect way to test the waters, because I'm interested in seeing like Donati fight for her belief to build a mercenary army.
Yeah. And I totally would have joined if I didn't have a D&D session on Sundays.
Yeah. And I still don't know when my next session with Jen is, because
her computer is full of cockroaches.
Completely balked.
Yeah, her computer's messed up at the moment. She currently, I don't think, is able to get it working still, so she's going to have to send it off again.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you can send it off now that there's no cockroaches left in
it. It's annoying that there was only like five teeny tiny cockroaches in there, and they were like, "Oh no, it's too unhygienic." Like, fuckers, you could deal with 5 fucking cockroaches.
Just give it a wipe.
Like, cockroaches aren't the scariest thing.
Like, I'm glad that they have that policy for their own benefit. Like, I would feel sorry for the PC workers if they had to clear out 50 cockroaches and still make the PC work, right? But 5 is probably like you just get on and do it and like feel good about yourself.
Just grab some tissues and pick them up, throw them away.
Fuck that shit, bug spray.
What, in a computer?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound.
Or just tap it on its side and just shake them out.
Yeah. Anyway, what was the other question? Theme and location, setting, etc. Do we want to be in the south next game still?
I have no.
I don't mind.
No horses in this race.
Yeah, I have no strong feelings. If you can think of a good place to send us, then
honestly,
send us.
I'm gonna say don't like.
I'm not going to completely change the setting. I would prefer
probably don't drag us like 8 months away around the world, because otherwise I feel bad about having like advanced 2 skills.
Yeah, just a million downtime.
Well, I guess my character is just continually not doing anything to earn this.
Yeah. Well, we haven't really delved into resources cycles, but we'll come to that later at some point, maybe. Yeah, I think in that case, then I want to stay in the south, because
there's fun things in the south.
There's fun things in the south.
I want to have cool political backdrops. I want there to be big other stuff going on in the background that's not involving us. I love that aspect. Like,
yes,
if we delayed longer, it would have come to the forefront more. But like
my kind of thinking with this session was, there's a chance you guys decide to flee, and then like back out, let things cool off for a few days, during which time the city gets raided, and like you've got a whole other kettle of fish to deal with.
Yes,
probably would have extended this adventure by another 5 sessions, but we didn't touch on it that much. Yeah, sure. I'll make a note to try and bring that more to the front.
Yeah. Oh no, just as much as it was.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. but you like it. That's a
I
good.
like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's what Scott needs to be in his next character, is a bureaucrat character. Because we do not have any social skills between us, me and
I would
Arcan.
like rather remove my own eyeballs and shove them up my own ass. I'm not playing a bureaucrat.
All right, I'll make a note. to look
Fair.
into that.
You could get yourself a fourth character a fourth person if you want that.
If I die, I'm definitely coming back as a bureaucrat. Like I'm gonna go straight the other direction, and like all I know is how to push paper. Be
There
great.
you go, Scott. There's a new character for you.
I'll work on that soonish.
Anything else? Any other thoughts? Final things?
So next session would be going straight into like whatever. Like I guess we'd be doing, because I can't really write beliefs if
That's
I
a
don't know
good
what
point,
the
actually.
situation. So I guess we'd do intro to whatever that is.
Yeah, I guess the one idea that I have so far, and maybe I'll develop on this midweek and like message you guys on Discord about it. 2 words sprung to my mind this afternoon, and I've been thinking about them on and off ever since as like the next cool thing.
Front butt.
No,
What?
It's like the Grail.
water farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not front butt.
Not front, but water farm.
Okay.
And yeah, I think sort of general idea that I have off the back of that is something big has appeared in a location that should not normally be there.
Okay. That's incredibly generic.
Incredibly generic. That's all I'm saying so far.
Okay.
But I think there's an interesting scenario to build off the back of that, which I will delve into more.
Welcome back to another episode of How Did I Get Here?
Cool. Okay. So yeah, that's the session.
Excellent.
Thank you for playing.
You are welcome.
I had a lot of fun. That was
I'm
really
glad.
exciting. And I don't like dice anymore.
Dice are mean. Dice are very, very mean.
Bye.
Stream end.
Yeah.